Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at the great millstone who taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim at their Laban and his work. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect who are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth at USA. Shalom. Yes, so just want to go into another quick news and prophecy update. All right. In which we understand those who want to know that the season of the wicked is coming to its end. You know, they be in the rulership of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, who understands very well that his power structure is currently being overthrown, you know, by words, by testimony, which is a testimony of the Shai. All right, it's prophesied, you know, the Israelites would raise up to condemn Esau, Edom, unto the Most High. You know, the northern and the southern king will rise up as two witnesses, and they will condemn Esau unto the judgment written, which means that his power structure is going to be thrown down, and he's going to have to go into captivity for 1,000 period of time until he's ultimately exterminated. And that's a very dreadful sound. All right, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that real quick. That's a very, you know, hideous thing to hear. All right, if you're of a race that's destined to be destroyed, in which everything that's written in the Bible, you know, has not been confounded yet, as far as it not coming to pass. Which this is this man's mission. His mission is to overthrow the prophecies that are written in the Bible and continue his dominance in the earth. So what is that scripture? Probably already there. Yep, a dreadful sound. So Job 15:21, a dreadful sound is in his ears. Okay, in the ears of who? Esau, Edom. Start at the top, bang the leaves. Those who really understand the pulse of the earth as far as prophecy. Hey, this is a dreadful sound. It's being spoken by the prophets, you know, and telling his judgment. In prosperity, the destroyer, which is who? Yahweh Shai, shall come upon them. So this is their mission, to deter or to keep us from calling on Yahweh Shai, who's going to come back and completely annihilate Esau and his power structure and throw him into captivity. All right. So, you know, what you're seeing right now is, you know, again, like I was just saying, you got two witnesses. Deuteronomy 17:6. So right here it says, at the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. Now, who is worthy of death? Esau, Edom. All right, the one who took us into captivity. And would you say that if a man be found in your hand, if you steal a man, and if he be found in your hand, he should be sure to be put to death. So there's many offenses that Esau has committed that is worthy of death. All right, in which we understand that the Most High is the ultimate judge. All right, pursuant to was it real quick? It's 89, I believe, in 14, where it says, justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And that mercy is came through the blood of Yahweh Shai. And the truth, you know, which is being exposed right now, you know, due to Yahweh Shai's sacrifice and to his prophets, is being revealed. And it's overcoming these devils. They're being condemned of their atrocities. All right, so all this is going to take place, all right, before the Lord shows his face, before he makes his return. See that? And so going back, Deuteronomy 17:6, at the mouth of two witnesses, you got the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom rising up with the same testimony of Yahweh Shai. And they're doing what? They're condemning Esau. Shall he that is worthy of death be put to death? But at the mouth of one witness, he should not be put to death. All right, so Esau's objective was to stop the witnesses from testifying against him by giving us false names of the Most High, by giving us a false heritage, in which, you know, returning back into our heritage, those dry bones waking up through this knowledge is everything that these devils fear. So, all in all, what are you going to see from these devils in the days ahead? You're going to see accusations. You're going to see lies and deception. You're going to see things set up that's going to demonize the Hebrew Israelites and paint us out to be terrorists, all to justify them into getting their hands on the witnesses, man. Okay? So before we get into that article, let's go ahead and grab another precept. Revelation 12:17. So right here it says, and the dragon was wrong with the woman. The dragon is a Roman beast system, which today is the NATO in the EU, America at the head. So when the dragon was wroth or pissed off with the woman, Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, all right, the elect of Israel, which keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. All right. As I brought out those two witnesses, you got the northern and southern kingdom rising up, testifying against Esau Edom. You see, which is going to lead into Yahweh Shah coming back to taking this man out of power. So these are secrets that the upper elites know, in which they're trying to alter. Right, they're trying to completely alter prophecy by condemning the just and getting rid of the witnesses. So without further ado, let's go into this article right here, in which it was sent by a brother in the group chat, the heading. I went and typed it up. So right here from independent.com, it says suspect confesses to crucifying pastor in Arizona home and had others on hit lists. So Adam Christopher Sheaf, 51. His name is Adam Christopher. All right. Of all names, right? Said he planned to execute and crucify at least 14 pastors and or priests in 10 states across the country. Because right now, we're in a time in which these devils are getting ready to, like I was just saying, lie and deceive on a mass level. You're going to see terror and fear grip America and also the world of debt by people who are so-called motivated by extremist ideologies, in which really, they're going to paint certain biblical narratives. They're going to paint these individuals and their background and tie them into, biblical narratives, just so they can condemn the testimony of Yahweh Shai. But I want to play this guy, because he looks like an obvious paid actor. You just look at this man. It looks like a setup when you watch it. But, before we play that, I wanted to highlight this guy's tattoo, as you can see. All right. Folded a tetragram. Yah, Ha, Wah, Ha. All in the Assyrian script, Hebrew, which we know to be Yahweh, right? Yahweh. So the guy, as it says in another article, has a Hebrew background. He's and he's fully into the Old Testament, should I say? All right. So what a coincidence. Let's hear this guy speak, and then we'll get into the article. Bring out a couple more points.
You're thinking about this. You want to carry out this hit list?
Yeah. It just looked like a whole setup, man. Paid action shit.
Yes.
A hit list.
Sure.
14 pastors.
That's right. Around the nation, to surround the nation.
Starting in Arizona?
Starting in Arizona, where I was born. Where it starts is where it ends, like the Garden of Eden.
So you have zero remorse for this killing?
Not only do I have zero remorse, I plan on fulfilling what I started. If my Father puts me in an authoritative position on this earth, I will execute every single priest and burn every church to the ground.
I mean,
on this earth, I will execute every single priest and burn every church to the ground.
I mean, it's likely you'll be in prison for the rest of your life.
That's what you think.
I recently visited Hiroshima.
Yeah, so we see where Esau is going with this, man. You know what I'm saying? And when he said that at the end, man, it reminded me of, Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, before we was heading to the Holy Land. The Lord gave us commandments. Deuteronomy 12, starting with 1. So yeah, these are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which the Lord Yahweh, power thy fathers giveth thee to possess it, as we were going to the land of Canaan. All the days that you live upon the earth, ye shall utterly destroy all the places. Now we did this physically back then, right? You shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. And you shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire. All right. And this represents the churches today. And you should hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of their place. Now, again, we did this physically back then, but it's more so spiritually now. We're not going out and destroying churches, burning down churches and all this stuff, man. No, everything is spiritual now. We're doing this by literally speaking this word that's breaking down all these different strongholds as far as Christianity and these different doctrines that has our people polluted in the mind. All right. We're not going out and doing these things in the physical sense, but we see how Esau is going to paint this thing. He's going to paint this thing as us being violent extremists, and that we actually carrying out, commandments as such like this, in the physical sense. All right. So also you had Trump, who recently said not too long ago, this came out, from yahoo.com, Tuesday, April 15, 2025, homegrown criminals are next. Now, y'all remember that, right? Trump appears to suggest sending U.S. citizens to El Salvador in hot mic moment. All right, so these devils are cooking. All right, and they got a plot going that's going to demonize, people with these certain views that they call radical views, which goes back into the scriptures, and which that really is them secretly shooting at the poor, the Israelites. All right. But yeah, this guy says homegrown the next. Go ahead.
I want him to do, criminals next. Yeah. I said, homegrown's the next. The homegrown's built. You got to build about 5 more places.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. It's not big enough.
Yeah.
There you go. So you got to build 5 more places for the homegrown, right? I think they recently got one in Florida. Okay, somewhere in the swamp out there, motherfucker. They build like a concentration camp. But yeah, we see the narrative here. We see the plot. The homegrown the next, in which now we expecting more situations like this guy right here, more narratives like this, with people committing mass murder in churches, like right here. From Independent, also Michigan church shooter told pastor that he was a prophet and heard from the Most High. Like, come on, man. All right. So he came in supposedly, with another AR, I believe. Let me see if I can find that gun. But yeah, he was saying that he heard from the Most High. He was a prophet. So he came in with an assault weapon, right? AR-15 right there, as you can see. And start shooting. So yeah, get ready for a lot of T attacks with people with these type of narratives that's going back into what the scriptures, which is really the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So I want to go back into this article. Right here, it says she said the attack was part of what he claimed was a divine mission to punish religious leaders who, in his view, were misleading followers. We saying the same thing about these Christian pastors and different religions. They're misleading the Israelites, but we're not going out and physically doing anything about it, right? No. That's what Yahweh shot. So it says, I drove from there, Phoenix, to Bill's house, like 2 a.m. on a Sunday night, what he said, right? And I executed him. She told the correspondent Brianna Whitney, who sat across the table from him. So Scronin was found dead in his bed, covered in blood, on April 28th during a welfare check. So on and so forth. So, different things in which this guy said, because of what I'm saying is, what you're preaching is not what the Most High said. She said it's the opposite of what the Most High said, right? She revealed that Scronin was not his only target. Prior to the murder, he said he had followed a priest home after Easter services in Phoenix with the intent to kill him, the first of 14 attending executions across the country, right? So this is going to be a thing. That persecution is going to be heavy, man. Right? They're going to build up the narrative about these people who are committing these violent attacks, these homegrown, and they're going to justify and send their troops after people with these type of ideologies, which really points back to the Hebrew Israelites. So right here it says she claimed he was acting under what he believes is God's law and that he expects to be forgiven. He has maintained that violence wasn't in his nature, stating, "Look, it's not my heart to go around killing people." As how he fit, when asked how he would feel if someone crucified him, she replied, "Good luck trying. I want the death penalty because I want to show that you can't kill the Most High's son." She said the whole story is BS. So when Whitney pointed out that executions often take years, she responded, "Well, I want to be executed quickly so we can get this show on the road and show exactly what I'm trying to do." So this is pretty much paving way for people with this type of ideology to go ahead and put them to death on the spot, without having to go to trial or due process, anything like that. He's like, my mind said, I want to get over it now. Go ahead and do what you got to do. So right here, it says, all you got to do is worship Yahweh Shai. You say Jesus, and you go to heaven. Your sins are forgiven. That's not what the Most High said. Asked if he believed the Most High would forgive his sins, she said, absolutely, he will forgive my sins. He is a favorable God and loving God. Whitney challenged the logic. Whitney challenged that logic. How do you justify that? I mean, if you're killing somebody or multiple people attempted, how does that work? It's a commandment to rid Israel of evil, she said. The point I want to get is a commandment to rid Israel of evil, she said, okay? So this devil is moving, man. This devil is being real subtle in how he's going to shoot at the poor, man. All right. Because he's shooting in secret. It's not direct, it's indirect. Psalm 64. Man, verse 1. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, and preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, because this ain't nothing but a plot. That plot is something secret. Okay, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet or sharpen their tongue like a sword, right? As he's doing out, setting up these narratives, all right, and also these legislations, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, all right, the Israelites, in particular the elect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, right? So they're shooting in secret. It's not directly, but the target is the poor, those who had a testimony of how shot. All right, as you read in Psalm 37:12, verse 11, because this is what it's all about now. Verse 11. So it say, but the meek shall inherit the earth. They want to stop us from obtaining, our rightful lot in the earth of being over everyone, all these different people of the nations. See? But the meek shall inherit the earth, the elect, who had his testimony, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. They don't want you to have peace. The wicked plotteth. So this is why they plotting. The wicked plotteth against the just, and that's upon him with his teeth, man. Okay? So there's a secret plot going on, which is shooting in secret with these different schemes and narratives that's really targeted towards certain sayings of the scriptures, man. So when they go out and commit all these terrorist attacks, and this guy, he was motivated by extremist ideologies, he had a Hebrew writing on his neck, Nigga had Yahweh written on his neck, man. And you can see in the script, you know, and was they talking about America burning? Now we know what Nero did back in what 64 AD, I believe. He blamed the Christians about these things that were going on, all right, in which he was the cause of burning that down. So Esau is going to burn down America himself and blame it. You know, he's going to cause as much chaos, should I say, and blame it on the Hebrew Israelites, you know, indirectly. And at some point, it probably going to be directly now, right? But what I want to get Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, because I was mentioning Nero. So here it says, that which has been is now. I mean, just like back then in 64, I think AD with Nero, and how he blamed the Israelites, you're going to see that same accusation being laid again in these times. And that which is to be have already been, and the Most High required that which is past. See that? So the Lord makes things repeat, showing that it's really the counsel of Most High. So Ecclesiastes 3 and 15 in the NLT, what is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before. See? Because the Most High makes the same things happen over and over again. So a great persecution is coming, just like during the time of 64, you know, through 70 AD. All right. Upon, you know, the Israelite. But this time, they're not going to succeed. They're not going to succeed in overcoming the elect. So again, Psalm 37:12, the wicked plotter, the secret counsel against the just, right? Those who had his testimony and gnashed upon him with his teeth. So again, there's an accusation, there's a narrative that's being created that's going to paint us out to be villains at the end of the day, just so Esau can justify himself and trying to devour us with his teeth, which is what? The military. But what does it say in verse 13? The Lord shall laugh at him, but he seeth that his day is coming. And that's crazy because the Most High is the one who's controlling this whole situation. So he's being deceived as well. He's being thrown into a trap and don't even know it. That's why the Lord is laughing at him, because he's going to cast him down. But yeah, the wicked have drawn out the sword, right? And like the elder Ram always goes into, when you're drawing something, you know, it's like in emotion, you're getting ready to swipe it, but first they had to be drawn first. You know, which goes into these legislations being signed off. All right, just like, you know, you heard the woman speak about what a guy was pretty much saying, you know, go ahead and get it over with, you know, kill me now, something like that, you know. So basically, they want to sign off on legislations too to go ahead and allow that process to take place, to where they ain't got to take nobody to court, and you know, it'd be drawn out. It can be what is it called? Summary execution, something like that. I forget the exact term, but they want to be able to put you to death on the spot, drag you to a camp, and it's off you, right? So yeah, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and the slaves, such to be of upright conversation. See, those who had the testimony how shot. But it said their sword should enter to their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. Right, just like Saul, man. You know, I think he fell up on his own sword, so his own counsel, man. Hey, so I want to scroll down to verse 39. So here it says, but the salvation is of the righteous. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord Yahweh, by Shimon Shah. He is their strength in time to come. All right. He is their strength in time to come. Like in the time of trouble. So when these devils come after us, Yahweh Shah, all right, Yahweh by Shimon Shah is going to be on our side. So it says, and the Lord shall help him, and the Lord shall help them, so like a little distracted, and deliver them. Right. So Esau is being drawn to a trap and don't even know it, because the Lord is setting up the scenario, just like when ancient Pharaoh, you know, he calls Pharaoh to approach just where his power can be made known. So this is what's going to happen when Esau comes in with a flood. That power, that stand is going to be lifted. He should deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. So really, you know, we ain't got nothing to worry about. It's all a part of the Most High's narrative. to set Esau up, for the okie doke, which goes into Revelation 12 chapter. We'll get that real quick. Revelation 12 and 10. So it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation in the strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointing. Yahushua. Hey, for the accuser, see, he wants to categorize you. So word accuser. Go to categorio of our brethren is cast down, who's accused them before our power day and night. It says, and they overcame him, Esau, by the blood of the Lamb, that mercy, right? In which, Yahushua is going to cover the sins of the elect, and by the word of their testimony, all right? So we're testifying against Esau, Edom, the wicked, and simultaneously we're going to be covered by the blood of Yahushua. And so it says, and they love not their lives unto the death. And that's heavy, because pretty much, in this article,
Adam Chief, this man right here, he's a kid.
In this article, like the guy was saying, go ahead and do it now, something like that, which pretty much links up with the narrative. Yeah, he says, I want the death penalty because I want to show what's going on, man. Because I want to show that you can't kill God's son, which links up with pretty much what we read right here, Revelation 12 and 11. And they love not their lives unto the death, which means that, our life is hidden in Yahushua, and we're looking for the world to come, doing the elect. But, we see how Esau is using the testimony of Yahushua to paint us out as being maddening, a problem. Verse 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, all right, and ye that dwell in them, because, the elect are going to be delivered from the sword. But woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil Esau has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And so we understand what this is all centered around, all right? It's centered around them being thrown into power, by Yahushua, in which, you got two witnesses who have risen up that are testifying against this man, and he's been condemned, uncovered. And now it's a time of judgment. So yeah, things are gonna get bad, but Yahushua is gonna protect the elect. So hey, Lord willing, you edify us. Next time I say, shalom.